Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Emily Brown in for Allison Fergit. Well, after the heavy snow, alternate side parking rules remain in effect. They started last night at 6 p.m. and end on 6 p.m. Sunday. So that means you have to move your vehicle to the even side of the street on even days and the odd numbered side on odd numbered days. Well, lots of snow outside, but that makes for a beautiful wintry sight. Nicole, can we expect more this weekend?
We have a little bit more coming in, but thankfully that heaviest stuff is really out of the way. We do have some nice sights out there with all the snow on the ground, but I know a lot of us are a little bit done with it as far as road conditions go. We do still have some light flurries getting through the area in the last hour or so on radar right now. Very light, not really expecting anything in terms of measurable accumulation as we go throughout the night, but we'll continue to see some scattered snow chances through the evening. Here's a look at those snowfall reports. These are going to go through about 2 p.m. today. The highest amounts were wherever that narrow band lined up earlier today. This morning we saw as high as 6 inches in Viroqua and Union Center. Other areas in that little band saw around 4.5 to 5. Otherwise, everybody else sitting around at least 2 inches of snowfall. So everybody got a little bit of a taste to end the week out and start the weekend off. Here's a look at our current conditions right now. Not too shabby out there. It's going to be cloudy, and we have those winds picking up later tonight as well. That could cause for some issues as far as blowing snow goes on the roads tomorrow. In Eau Claire, very similar story, 24 degrees, not too bad, but those winds are making it feel just a tad bit cooler. We still do have alert day conditions going through tomorrow morning. Those winds are really going to be picking up tonight, and that could cause for some drifting on the roads and some blowing, especially with all that fresh, fluffy stuff on the ground right now. It doesn't take much for that to kick up. So definitely something to be aware of on the roads as we go into tonight and tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Nicole. And a reminder, you can track weather on your block by downloading the First Warn Weather app. Get it at the App Store or on Google Play. A Cuba City man is in custody after allegedly firing a gun from his vehicle multiple times while driving. Vernon County Sheriff's Office received a phone call yesterday at 6:30 p.m. from a motorist claiming the driver of another vehicle discharged a firearm multiple times from their vehicle. A second call came in from a different driver saying they were rear-ended and stated that he had firearms in the vehicle. The two calls appeared to be connected. The second caller was identified as 49-year-old Justice William Kelly. He was taken to the Sheriff's Office Detention Center and booked on potential charges of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. A fire broke out at a stadium concession stand at Richland High School this morning. Around 4 a.m., the school district's maintenance team discovered the flames, with fire crews arriving shortly after. The school district is currently assessing the damages to determine the next steps for repairs. They posted on their Facebook page saying, quote, "The fire appears to be electrical in nature. No injuries were reported." The La Crosse Democratic Party held a meeting at their office with Judge Susan Crawford this morning. With the spring primary election less than 2 months away, Crawford is pushing for her spot for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. She mentions the impact the election will have on people in Wisconsin.
This election is coming up pretty quick on April 1st. That is a little over 6 weeks away now. And the stakes of this election really could not be higher. This is going to affect the future of our state, the future for all of our kids and grandkids, and it's also going to affect all of our personal rights.
Again, that date to vote in the election is April 1st. The Children's Museum of La Crosse hosted their chemistry club this afternoon. The kids get to develop problem-solving skills as they observe and try to understand the why and how behind chemical reactions. A UWL volunteer says encouraging curiosity and exploration is key to developing critical thinking.
We're just trying to expose children to science, spread our love and joy for science. We're all chemistry, biochemistry majors, so we're trying to get them started as young as possible. And it's always fun seeing the kids' joy when they make something new for the first time.
The classes, events, and programming are free with a museum membership and admission. The school district of Bangor has announced the hire of Brian Wopat as their middle and high school principal starting the in the fall of this year. Brian earned his master's degree from UW-La Crosse and earned his principal and curriculum instruction licenses through Viterbo University. Brian said, quote, "I look forward to working with staff, students, and the community to uphold the district's rich traditions, commitment to educational excellence, and immense sense of Cardinal pride." 100 high schools throughout the state competed in the Wisconsin State High School Fishing Tournament today. 1,200 participants hit the Mississippi for competitive ice fishing.
Every year we try to host one big tournament for our whole organization, and this one was the culmination of everything where kids qualified. We had 87 teams, 1,056 people had RSVP'd to be here today, so we can all come fish lacrosse. We've got, every team is a different school in the state, and we're excited as heck to be here, and we don't care if we win half the time, we just want to have fun going fishing.
Looks like so much fun. The tournament was canceled 4 years ago due to COVID and unsafe ice. Still to come, Trump is traveling this President's Day weekend as his administration continues to make changes to the federal government. We have all the details coming up next.
If you can't say anything nice, come sit next to us at LCT's production of Steel Magnolias. Tickets are on sale now. Call or stop into the LCT box office or visit lacrossetheater.org.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 715-469-6907. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 715-469-6907. Again, that's 715-469-6907.
The fact that Brad Schimmel supports the 1849 law terrifies me. When I was pregnant, I had complications, but because of the ban, doctors couldn't help me. Brad Schimmel has no idea what it's like to lay in a hospital bed, pregnant and dying. The 1849 law that Brad Schimmel supports almost killed me. Brad Schimmel is too extreme for the Supreme Court.
If you can't say anything nice, come sit next to us at LCT's production of Steel Magnolias. Tickets are on sale now. Call or stop into the LCT box office or visit lacrossetheater.org.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
President Trump is at Mar-a-Lago for President's Day weekend. On Sunday, he will attend the Daytona 500. At the same time, his administration remains hard at work making significant changes to the federal government. CBS News correspondent Willie James Inman reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Tariff, I told you, is a beautiful word.
President Trump is talking tariffs. This week, the president announced so-called reciprocal tariffs, or import taxes that could reshape global trade and make a range of goods more expensive for Americans to buy.
This will send shockwaves through the world economy, and that's before you price in the fact that other countries will feel need to retaliate.
Trump says he plans to increase tariffs to match what other countries charge for imports. On Friday, President Trump discussed his plans to impose a new auto tariff on U.S. trade partners beginning in April.
The tariffs are going to save a lot of industries.
Saturday, the president wrote on social media, quote, "On trade, I have decided for purposes of fairness that I will charge a reciprocal tariff, meaning whatever countries charge the United States of America, we will charge them no more, no less." Meanwhile, late Friday, the Justice Department officially filed paperwork to drop corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams after the Deputy Attorney General said a prosecution would hamper Adams' ability to assist the Trump administration with his immigration policies.
Well, it's reminiscent of the Nixon era, where you saw the president basically try to find someone who would carry out his orders in the Justice Department and had to go through several officials before he finally was able to find someone who would carry it out.
Saturday afternoon, the president wrote without any context, quote, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
A new release of Israeli hostages took place today as their friends and families gathered to watch live on TV. The 3 Israeli hostages were released by Palestinian gunmen in the Gaza Strip. One Israeli released was held hostage for nearly 500 days.
We saw him alive and walking on his own feet, and I can't explain.
The exchange eased fears that the ceasefire agreement could collapse before the end of the 42-day first stage of a ceasefire deal in effect since January 19th. The price of eggs just hit a new record-breaking high across the U.S. What this means for your shopping when we come back.
And thanks to all this fresh snow that we have on the ground, we have some very frigid temperatures on the way that could last throughout most of next week. I'll have the full breakdown in your full forecast coming up right after the break.
Earn now, spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Blaine's Bucks event. Now through February 26th, rewards members earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store. Redeemable just like cash, March 6th through the 19th. Start earning on long-lasting tires. Buy 3, get 1 free. Save up to $100 in consumer rebates. Plus, if you find tires we carry somewhere else for less, we'll match the price and give you an extra $5 instant savings per tire. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
In the hunt, every detail matters. It's not just about the thrill, but a passion for the craft. And in the end, it's about the people you get to be with. At Overhead Door, it's about our team and those we get to serve. We can repair any garage door, but we only install the best. Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region since 1921.
Dahl Honda is proud to sponsor News 8 Now's Top Notch Teacher Program. It's always a highlight of our month to recognize the top-notch teacher and thank them for all they do for our students in school. Dahl Honda values the great work all teachers do for our children and community. If you know a teacher who deserves top-notch teacher recognition, please nominate them. Thank you, teachers, for going above and beyond and providing a top-notch education.
Get a free tumbler and up to $200 in rewards cards during the President's Day sale at Home Furniture.
Craving authentic Mexican flavors? Look no further than Señor Villa. At Señor Villa, we bring the taste of Mexico to your table every day. Join us for our unbeatable $5 lunch specials packed with flavor and value. And don't miss our nightly specials where the fiesta never ends. Señor Villa, where great food meets great value. Visit us today. Señor Villa, the taste of Mexico you've been craving.
Ellie McClune is committed to lacrosse, striving for common sense leadership that addresses homelessness, promotes public safety, and supports affordable housing. With deep community roots and experience as a realtor and small business owner, Ellie understands the challenges and opportunities of our city. It's time for real change with a focus on community and responsible solutions. Make your vote count for a thriving lacrosse. Vote in the primary on February 18th. Paid for by Friends of Ellie McClune.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Well, egg prices have hit a new record high in the U.S. The previous high for a dozen eggs across America was $4.82 in early 2023. But now that record has been broken in the month of January, with prices jumping to $4.95. Produce stands at the West Palm Beach, Florida, often have eggs available, but say it's hard to stock.
And here the price has gone up so much until people are having to make a decision. Am I gonna have eggs, you know? And we tell them it's like sticker shock, but we get it, but we're lucky to even be able to get them because some places can't even get them, but you're getting them at a premium.
The average price in Florida up to $6 per dozen. Well, while people in Florida are seeing highs in the upper 70s, we are seeing a winter wonderland here in Wisconsin. Let's send it over to Nicole to get a closer look at our weather.
The 70s sound great. I'm a big fan of the snow, but I could really do for the 70s right now. Thankfully, spring is almost here, but as we know, the beginning of spring in Wisconsin and Minnesota doesn't really mean too much. We could have winter extending a little bit longer, and it's definitely going to feel like winter as we go into this next week. So we still have a couple more snow chances coming later tonight. As you can see this evening, just seeing those very light and scattered flurries throughout the area, and not really seeing too much more in terms of accumulation. But as we go into tomorrow morning, we'll see a quick batch kind of develop right over our area. Again, not lasting too long, just through those early morning hours, and already out of our hair as we go into noon. Then later in the day, those clouds are going to clear up, but it's not really going to give us too much warmth. It's going to be pretty cold out there. Here's those lows going into tomorrow morning. Many of us getting into the single digits, that light and scattered snow to start the evening off. Otherwise, just seeing those few flurries as we go into tomorrow morning. Then we really do not warm up too much tomorrow also. Really staying steady in those low teens throughout most of the late morning into the afternoon, and then we're going to drop off pretty quickly with our temperatures getting very cold as we go into the start of next week. So you're definitely going to want to bundle up and grab your puffiest jacket because you're going to need it as we go into the week. The main story going into tomorrow to finish the weekend off is going to be those gusty conditions. We have winds picking up tonight already, so if you have any late night plans, you're definitely going to want to be aware of that, especially with all that fresh light snow still on the ground. Hasn't had a lot of time to compact down, so it does not take much of very strong winds to really start to blow that around. Definitely going to be something you want to be aware of, because even going in to 6 a.m. tomorrow, we're already seeing wind gusts around 20 to 25 miles an hour. And then as we go into the afternoon, seeing wind gusts get as high as about 30 to 35. The strongest of the winds are going to stay south of I-90, so that's where the biggest alert day risk is going to be because of those drift and blowing potentials. Otherwise, everybody else seeing wind gusts around 20 to 25 miles an hour. The good news is this tapers off already by the evening hours, and we shouldn't really have to deal with very breezy conditions as we go into the week ahead, but those winds are still going to be there, and you're going to feel it in the wind chill as we go throughout the next few days. Here's our coldest morning wind chills going throughout the next few days in La Crosse. Again, tomorrow will be our first taste of it, staying in the single digits in the morning, but we'll be getting below zero as we go into the evening, and it's really going to feel like we're staying below zero for what feels like a couple days in a row. Tuesday looking to be the coldest morning, negative 29 for that wind chill when you're waking up Tuesday morning. Feeling even colder in Eau Claire. Tomorrow already feeling like negative 5 in the morning, so really starting to feel like you're staying below zero in Eau Claire for multiple days in a row. Potentially those real temperatures will be staying below zero, but there is a chance to get into the single digits. But overall, it's going to feel very cold. Again, that coldest morning, Tuesday morning, negative 32, even Monday to negative 30, and then very close to that on Wednesday as well. Thursday, we start to warm up a little bit going into Friday as well. And then Saturday, next Saturday, we're actually looking to get closer to our near normal high, seeing the mid 30s out there, which, believe it or not, for this time of year is actually pretty close to our normal high. We're starting to get up there in those temperatures, and a chance, maybe it's still a ways out, but a chance for next week to possibly see the 40s in some locations, which is definitely going to be needed after a negative 11 in the morning. That's not going to feel great.
Oh,
so definitely bundle up out there.
Yeah, we will. Today, I felt like everyone was embracing the snow. I got up early at 9 a.m. I saw 5 people jogging in the snow. Dogs just skipping about, like people shoveling, waving at their neighbors. It was like something was in the air this morning.
It's
people
too
really
bad
like it.
when it's the fluffy stuff, though. You can't make snowmen or have
That's
snowball
true.
fights, but it is very pretty.
It is very pretty, exactly. All right, thank you, Nicole. Coming up next in sports, the Badgers were going for a big win on the road. Plus, we go to the wrestling mat as area teams were competing in regionals. Kate is in next with sports.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Firefighters Credit Union has been offering home financing since before the advent of the internet. We have brick and mortar here in the community and have been around for nearly a century. With over 50 years of experience between Matt and Troy, we're local lenders here for you that you know and you trust.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
what's on my mind? It's butt cold out here and I don't have any heat at home.
Well, gotta have heat, Einstein.
Off yours, smarty. I just don't know who to call.
Jacob said Chuck used the local company. The Primary Colors, the good one?
What?
What?
Huh?
Well, there's your sign.
Jeez Louise.
Moron.
Hey, putz.
Call GNC.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
President's Day is a time to honor all presidents, past and present. And at King Furniture, we're giving you the opportunity to save some presidents with huge discounts throughout the entire store, up to 60% off.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And right now, you can get 0% financing.
So save some presidents at King.
For the record, Franklin was not a president, but you can save him too. It's the President's Day sale going on right now at King Furniture.
Nice people.
Nice furniture.
Nice style.
This street's like any other in Wisconsin, but the new neighbor is a pedophile who repeatedly raped a little girl, released after just 2 years in prison. Thanks to Judge Susan Crawford's sweetheart sentence, a fraction of the 60 years he faced. Now, the pedophile lives blocks from a school. And with Susan Crawford on the bench, your street could be next.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
The high school wrestling postseason is officially underway as today boys from across the state began wrestling regionals. Holmen was hosting a few Division I schools, while Aquinas was hosting Division III. Top 4 advanced to sectionals, so we had a lot of wrestlers move on. Let's start in Holmen. Up first, Toma's Blake Champlin. In his quarterfinal match, aggressive off the whistle, gets the takedown. He would go on to win by tech fall, eventually taking 3rd place. We also had Rex Lancaster of Holmen, just a freshman, but wrestles like a senior. He would also earn a tech fall and finish in 1st place. Sparta's Pierce Matheson, he would pick up a fall in just 1 minute, 5 seconds. He would go on to take 3rd, advancing to next week. How about West Salem Bangor's Trevor Arts? He was on a mission today, takes his man down straight to his back, eventually getting the pin in just 54 seconds. One of 13 Catbirds to advance to next week. But the winners of this tournament, the Holmen Vikings. They also had 13 advance, 4 Vikings taking 1st place. And over at Aquinas High School, some Division III teams hitting the mat. We've got Westby's Clayton Gear. He was trailing in this match, but gets his opponent on his back, gets the fall. He was fired up as he's moving on to sectionals. How about Cashton's Parker Milsna in the semifinals, in control, as he would go on to pick up the fall. He takes 2nd and moves on to next week. Royal Waniwak's Emerson Murray, he would pick up a fall. He would finish in 2nd place on the day. And then we've got Aquinas' Martez Sheard, ranked 2nd in D3 as a freshman and showing why on the mat today. Picks up the fall as he would go on to take 1st. A lot of wrestlers moving on, but it was the Blue Golds who would take 1st as a team as they're sending 11 on to sectionals. And down in Richland Center, we had a few of our Division II teams hit the mat. GET Melman were the big winners of the day. They take 1st as a team, and they send 9 wrestlers through to next week's sectionals. On the basketball court this afternoon, the 16th ranked Wisconsin Badgers hit the road to take on 7th ranked Purdue. Mackey Arena, a tough place to play, but if the Badgers want to prove themselves as one of the best in the Big Ten, a win today would help make the case. Let's go there. First half, Badgers down 5, and they lose Kamari McGee on a questionable flagrant 2, runs into the screen, and he's gone. Wisconsin would actually go down 9, but they would fight back. Jack Janicki, the walk-on, drains the corner 3. Badgers down 6. Then, with under a minute to go in the half, John Tonje, step back 3. Money. Wisconsin trails by 1 at the half. Second half, Badgers down 3. Tonje for 3. Bucket plus the foul. 4-point play puts Wisconsin in front. A few minutes later, John Blackwell, soft defense, and he makes them pay. Another triple. Badgers go up 6. 8 minutes to play. Tonje feeling the pressure, goes to the corner, and it's Janicki again. Another 3, a career high 11 points off the bench. Wisconsin goes up 11. 5 to play. Klesmit drives, finds Tonje underneath. He throws down the 2-handed slam. 32 points for Tonje as the Badgers pick up a huge win on the road, 94-84, the final. Up next for Wisconsin at home on Tuesday against Illinois. We'll be right back.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm. The First Warn Weather Storm Runner. Only from News 8 Now. Expect more.
PB and J? PB before we go. P before we go. P before we go. See you tomorrow? Yeah.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
Get $3,000 total cash allowance on this 2025 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
UWL's music department presents its annual honors recital on Sunday, February 16th at 2 p.m. with a reception to follow. Help celebrate and recognize these students for their achievements in music. Bring your favorite crafting project to work on while watching Frozen at the Rib. Enjoy the classic Rivoli concessions and themed drinks, as well as special Olaf painting kits sold by All Glazed Up.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
We got some gusty conditions picking up tonight. Your trash can will most likely be staying in your yard, but you could have that lid flipped up. We're seeing gusts around 35 miles an hour, especially for areas south of I-90. Not really concerned too much for your trash cans, mainly for that snow blowing around, especially if you have any travel plans tomorrow that could cause for some hazardous conditions, whether that's drifting or with visibilities. Otherwise, we have a very cold week ahead of us. Monday and Tuesday morning is going to be very chilly out there, so gotta get ready for it.
Get those jackets ready, everyone, for the week. All right, thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 10.